recording. And does anyone have anything exciting to share or any questions to ask before we get started?
I'll share something. So I've been going through like a kind of like a dip. I actually had two of my worst paychecks. I mean, they're still good paychecks, but they're like my worst this year. And I was telling John just like a couple days ago, I'm like, I just feel very defeated. I'm like over this. I just feel people aren't appreciating what I bring to the table, but I always still show up. Like no matter how I have felt in the last like 4.5 years, I will always show up and my page is doing well. So that shows you it doesn't matter what your page is doing. My page is getting a shit ton of comments, to be quite honest. But just nobody was buying. And then I had somebody who I actually forgot to follow up with. And she messaged me back and she was like, hey, like, I'm really interested. What's going on? And it'd been like 3 or 4 days. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And continued the conversation. She wanted to do a bikini competition. She had a trainer. I asked her about her trainer. And the trainer like works mostly with like really overweight people. She's like, we've been doing the same stuff. And so we just talked. I just gave her, information on what we do, who I work with and how I can help her. And she bought like a $300 package and she has a friend that's also interested. So it goes to show you just got to keep going. Usually when my dips take a dip, it's about a 2-week dip. It's happened many times over the course of the 4.5 years. It's always on average about a 2-week dip where I'm just like, nothing is happening, but I keep promoting. I keep showing up. I don't think I've ever missed a day, and it always does eventually turn back around.
Yeah, I noticed that your page, like I follow your page and I don't go to it, but like if they pop up in my feed, I like or comment or whatever. And I realized I hadn't seen your page in a really long time. And then all of a sudden, like a week ago, you like every single post is popping up in my feed. So I don't know if it's just like you did a good post and then you became like, valuable again and they started showing you to more people. I don't know how that happened, but you somehow bumped up in the algorithm.
It was my Kirby post, I think. Which is funny. That's a whole nother point is like a lot of people I feel are so afraid to talk about like what we do and share about it. Here, I just bought a $1,200 vacuum and I can't shut up about it because I don't have pressure. I'm not trying to sell it to anyone. I'm just excited what it's doing for me. Like I literally just did a story and I was like, Kirby clean of the day, which is really promoting Kirby, which I don't mind doing, because I love it. But yet coaches get scared to promote what we're doing. Yeah. And it's like, but when you have a product that you love, you sure as hell don't, like Yvette is really good with her makeup and she, goes all out with her makeup, telling it all the different brands of what she's using, and I think sometimes as new coaches, we put pressure on ourselves because it's like, you feel icky. I actually talked about this on my team page. Like you feel icky, but it's like, if you're using something, you shouldn't feel icky about it. What icky would be is buy Shakeology. Well, do you use it? No, but you should use it. Like that's icky.
Yeah.
But if you love your programs, if you love your products, that's not being like slimy. That's loving what you're using and wanting to share about it, which we do with other products, your favorite coffee or your favorite clothing, so I don't know. I talked about that, but it was just like, that's why my page is doing so well because I talked about Kirby.
That's so funny.
Which I wanted to like take a list of all the people that are like, I have a Kirby. And I'm like, wow. And you can't spend $160, but you just blew like between $1,200 and $1,500. Oh, that's awesome.
It's a value. They don't see the value yet.
Yeah.
In investing in their health. I think it's difficult to show someone the value of investing in their health, especially because like, okay, you buy the Kirby, you vacuum, you see the results instantly, but like with your health, you buy the stuff and it takes months for you to see the results. So it's like people we're in such that quick fix society mindset. Even everyone, like I have people at work that are like overweight and they're like, I'm going to do fasting. I'm going to do keto. I'm going to do that. And they're like jumping around from diet to diet. And I'm like, but are you going to be able to do that forever? Like, are you going to be, if you can do it forever, do it. But if you're going to do it and lose 30 pounds and then gain it back, it's just not worth it. Like just people don't, like, it's just the mindset. I can't even relate to that because consistency is, like you said, like consistency is key for everything in life, for relationships, for like your being a parent. I mean, every single thing, your health and fitness, it's like consistency is key.
Something that I've been doing on my page is actually sharing my memories because of that. So I've been sharing a lot of like, I find like memories that are like my workouts, and I'm like, you guys, like, this is 3 years ago, and look at me now. Like, who are you choosing to help you? You know, and I'm showing that consistency by showing my memories.
Yeah, I do that. I share memories. I share memories of like coach promotions and things like that, and other people's transformations. Like if I shared other people's transformations, I share those memories because I'm like, showing that it's not just me that's getting the results too. And that was a good point. I was thinking when Stephanie was talking, like if you're not sharing about other products, if you're a coach and you're not sharing about other products you use, then you're kind of doing yourself and your followers a disservice, because sharing about other products that you use and recommending those is going to help you get more comfortable sharing about what you use as far as like Beachbody goes, and it's posting ideas, and it's going to help you connect with people on another level, and it's going to be valuable for people if you share the things that you like. So that's a great point of like, and also they're going to already trust you. The people that follow you and say, they're like, oh my God, I love it. Be like, thank you for recommending this. Like, I love it. Like I have people that follow me for like cat, like they like, I have certain people that like love my cat recommendations, like my litter box, like the things that I use for the cats. I'm constantly like, did you see that too?
That was
Oh my
cool.
God, it's so cute. It's the cutest fucking thing. They're like going in and out of it. They love it. Like things like that. And then I link it on my, you can sign up if you have a big following. Like you can sign up on Amazon as a affiliate or whatever. And then I haven't gotten anything. I haven't like earned anything back, but you probably would, Steph. And you can like you can create a page where it's like, it's an Amazon influencer. And then if people go and use your link and buy something through your Amazon page, you supposedly can like earn commissions from it. I don't know how it exactly
Kathleen
works.
actually does that. Kathleen gets kickbacks. She's had like $100 free Amazon gift cards for doing that. She's got a lot of followers that she is like, use my code, or yeah.
Right. I mean, I haven't gotten anything from it, but I am signed up to do it, and I do like link everything. And if you go to my my Instagram and you go on my link tree, it's the Amazon faves, and if you click on that, you can actually, there's a link to sign up to be the influencer on there, so you can click on it and do that and sign up. I mean, I don't get anything for you signing up to be an influencer, but that's just an easy way for you to find it. But what I was going to go over today, anybody else have anything to share or questions to ask?
I want to share that I am thinking about doing clean week. I've been scared out of my mind to do one, but I'm going to do one.
Oh, you're going to host a group?
Yeah, I'm going to run it on Facebook. I'm super nervous, but I'm going to do it because I have to push myself. So
something that I actually,
what do you got to lose?
Wait, what?
Marissa froze.
I just said, what do you got to lose?
Oh.
Right.
Stephanie, this will help you, but something I shared with Diane, because she was talking about like wanting to do like, Lift 4, like a different program. What has always helped me in the past to enroll people is I take a week and I do moves from like the first week or whatever. So like I'll usually do the first week twice. So, if you're doing clean week, I would take a week and like be posting recipes and be like, this is in my new group, it's a free group, this is a recipe that you're going to learn more about or whatever. When I'm doing like Mess to Moss is my next program. So I'll be taking this next week and I'll be doing workouts and showing people this is what's happening in my new group. Are you interested? So I always take a week and I do things from the program and post about it, sharing what they're going to see, sharing how I can strip it down, sharing how easy the plans are. And I invite every day. That's always when I have the most enrollments, is when I start a new program and I'm inviting people to what I'm doing. It's like, because people follow you and they're like, how do you get results? So I always invite people to what I'm doing, and I take that week to show them and invite them at the same time and then restart it with them.
Okay. Yeah, so I was going to ask if I do clean week with them, even though I'm doing 21 day, like I can do it with them, or should I not?
I mean, if I'm enrolling someone, I want to be doing the same program. That's why I've been doubling up this whole time with Morning Meltdown, because I feel weird leading people when I'm not doing it myself.
Right. That's how I would feel. I'm like, I should really do it with them. That way I know what they're going through, what day they're doing, what they're doing. That's how I felt too. So I just wanted to.
Yep. And it's personal preference. That's just how I do things, so you got to find what works for you. But to me, I would feel weird not doing it with them.
Okay.
I would probably, if it were me and I want to do it with them, I would like stop whatever program I was doing and do that program, because there's no way I'd be doing doubles, just because I just don't, just not my style. But that's just how I would do it, you know?
Well, I'm only doing doubles because of the pilot. I wouldn't usually do that.
Yeah, okay. I'm just saying, yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, does anyone else? And oh, Stephanie, are you gonna do your first like local? How's that going?
Yeah, I actually brought my son to the park after his martial arts class, and I was like, I can do it here. So, because I wanted to do an inside thing where I can probably like project actual Beachbody, but I just got certified a few months ago in core de force.
Are you ready to teach though?
No, I need to practice.
Yeah.
I need to like practice my booty off. Like, cause I can make it from, I guess you're live, or have you ever been live certified? So like I can like break it down to like 30 minutes or so. I don't know.
That's what I would definitely break it down to 30 minutes, and I practiced like my ass off before I started teaching, and then, you know, I taught for a little while, and for me it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, so I stopped. But
if I could find somewhere to like go inside, that would be my preference. I would rather project the workout so I can show them, you know, the full experience of, you know, launching it on the thing and scrolling through.
Right.
That's what I would rather do, but I need to find a place that I can do that at.
Yeah, just research. Everything can be found on Google.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. Keep us posted on that.
Thanks.
So the call that I listened to by Corey Abraham, I really liked a lot. And she was like talking about things that she does to kind of, she was talking about how she's like a very part-time coach because she's a mother and she doesn't want this to be like something that takes time away from her family and makes her like, she was a lawyer that was working like, I don't know, 100 hours a week, like crazy hours before. Did you guys listen to that call? Who listened to that call? Did you raise your hand? No? All right. So I know Stephanie, okay, so I know you did, but you didn't connect with it. But so what I liked about that call, there was some suggestions that she made. One of them was, hey, one of them was to like split up to host challenge groups with like 6 coaches and to split up the days, like who have like, so if you run a challenge group, and it wouldn't work for like Catherine, but it would work for the rest of you guys because she has too many people. Like, you know, linking arms with like another couple of coaches on the downline and hosting your challenge groups together. And then each coach leads a day during the challenge group, and they would do things besides like just posting about health and fitness. Like they would do social Saturday or whatever. And then the person that's responsible for that day does like a post and kind of leads the group that day and does like a live video that day or whatever. However, she didn't go into like super detail about how they break it down, but I really liked that. I liked that concept. So I was going to recommend that to people, like, you know, to try to do that together. Cause I'm sure some of you guys are probably like in, you know, Stephanie's group or whatever, and then she's leading and you're kind of in there and you're supporting your people. But like, I truly believe in like the power of stepping into leadership. So if you're kind of like in Stephanie's group and you're like letting her lead and you're kind of like, it's not even about like leaving it on her shoulders as her being responsible. It's about you stepping into like your power as a leader. When you start to step into that leadership role and you start to do things on your own for yourself, and you start to like, that's when you gain your confidence as a leader. And that's when your clients and your team start to see you as that. And that's when they start to be more motivated also to be coaches on your team, to, you know, to do all that. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to share something on that. So I gave an analogy in my team page about that, because for me, like, we're hearing from all these top leaders, like, put out what you want back. Like, I definitely want leaders on the team that come in, and if they're builders, they want to go off on their own. Like Diana was like, I have one person, I'm going to open up my new group and that's going to push me to get more. But to me, it was like, my mother-in-law asked me to host Thanksgiving, and I'm like, I don't like hosting. And she's like, well, I'll come to your house. I'll do all the work. And I shared about this on my team page. Well, then she gets all the praise. Like, yeah, it's my house, but she's getting all the praise, which means I'm still not comfortable hosting a party. You know, it's like you have to just go out on your own and do it, because if you're bringing people in, they were attracted to, you know, Marissa, but if Marissa's in my groups and I'm doing all the work, then to me, you lose credibility as a growing coach, because you're not leading them, somebody else is. So, you know, it's like if I have a party and my mother-in-law is doing all the work, I'm not, you know, people aren't looking up to me as a good hostess. They're looking up to my mother-in-law. It just happens to be at my house. So I just feel very strongly, like, if you're building, you know, what I preach to my team, like, you should want to start off, because yeah, that's gonna, how else are you gonna grow? Like, if your people aren't showing up, you don't know what it is, you know, because it's not your group.
Right. I want to reiterate that I think it's good that if you link arms with a newer coach too, and you run it together with 3, 4, 5 of you, because if you're a coach and you only have one, you're a new coach and you have one client, or even just 5, that's a really small group. And the energy of having like a bigger group, of having 20 to 30 to 40 people, is going to be, I think, more motivating and more inspiring for people than if they have a group of 1 and then you're their coach, or 2 or 5. So my suggestion is, and I can create a Google Doc if people want to sign up, like, you know, if people want to go into the team page and sign up to be like, okay, we're going to run our groups together. And here's the thing, if you're running your group with someone, you're running it together, and you don't feel like you're having success together, you're not good partners, you can just walk away. You tell them, you know, this isn't working out. I think I'm going to try working with someone else. And you can do this cross line too. They don't have to be people even within our team and Team Aloha. They can be people that are on other teams. Stephanie runs her challenge group with another team. She runs her team page with another coach that isn't even in the downline. Someone that she really connects with on a deep level and has a friendship with, Kathleen. So my point is, you're only limited by your own lack of initiative and creativity in like stepping into that role as a leader. And when it's like when you are learning something new as a kid, think about like you're learning how to walk or whatever, or no, that wouldn't be a good analogy. Like as a child, you are learning how to do something, and number 1, you're not afraid to like fall on your face and fail and get back up and do it a million times. So why is it that we're so scared to like go out and host a group and have it be a flop? Like, that's the only way you're going to learn. That's the only way you're going to like really get this business, is by doing. And like, people are so scared to start. Like, what do I say? How do I have a conversation? How do I invite? How do I get them to sign up? How do I get them? You freaking talk to people and you learn how to do it. Like, you're not going to learn from reading a script. You're not going to learn from watching a million videos. Don't be a collector of information. The best way for you to learn how to enroll people through conversations is to have conversations, to have those conversations fail. I mean, I remember when I first started as a coach, I just didn't care. I don't know. I was one of those people that had a thick skin. And so I wrote a list of names of coaches that I thought I wanted on my team, personal trainers, people that I knew. I asked people, like, do you know any personal trainers? Can you recommend me to them? I got on a Zoom with these 2 people, and this guy was totally not like, he freaking looked totally down on Beachbody. And my ex-boyfriend at the time and I were together. And so we got on this like video conference with him and his girlfriend, because they were interested in becoming coaches, and we were like talking with them. And I had listened to Danny Johnson. By the way, Danny Johnson, 6 Figures in 6 Months, is in my Dropbox, and that's how I learned the business. 6 Figures in 6 Months, I listened to it over and over and over, and learned how to do conversations. So I listened to that in my car when I was driving, because 6 Figures in 6 Months it taught me how to like listen to people and to find their need and to fill it with what. She's really good at that. So we went to Danny Johnson's like seminar, like First Steps to Success. And then we went to Building a Dynasty. And then and I know who recommended that to me, who I found her from was Lindsay Matway. Lindsay Matway was a big Danny Johnson fan, and that's how I got turned on to her. So anyway, we get on this Zoom, and I did not control the conversation at all. And if you will listen to Danny Johnson, you'll know that like you control the conversation, meaning you ask the questions and they answer. You're trying to elicit information from them and you're controlling the direction of where you're going. And I just was so like insecure and lacked confidence. And so was my partner, my boyfriend at the time, that we got on and we were just letting them ask all the questions. We were just like throwing information at them. We had no clue how to like talk, what we were doing. And we got off the call and I was just like, that didn't really go very well. Like they didn't sign up, like they weren't even interested, like they never enrolled, but it was just like, it was negative. It was like, we got off the call and I was like embarrassed, and like felt like a failure and like dumb, whatever. But here's the thing. The more I did that and the more conversations I had, and I would always, after I got off like the phone with someone or a video conference or a message, I'd look at it and I'd be like, all right, well, they didn't enroll, or they did and they failed, or we failed together. Like what happened there? I would always assess, like, what did I do well? What could I have done better? Like where did I lose control of the conversation? Like I would always look at the things that I did, and I could always see like my mistakes and my failures. And it's nothing wrong with, the way, that's the only way you're going to learn. I didn't learn I didn't have team calls. I didn't have back in the day when I started as a coach, there wasn't YouTube videos on everything. There wasn't training in the coach online office. There wasn't jack shit besides national wake up calls. And me taking the business, like, and taking it into my hands and saying, I'm going to succeed at this no matter what. And you know how I learned it? As I learned by having those conversations and failing over and over and over until I finally learned my style and the way I want to say things and how I can attract the right people and how I can enroll them. And that's how it is when we're a little kid, when we're trying to, like, it's the analogy of learning how to walk. Again, you fall down a million times and you don't say, oh, I fell down, I guess I can't learn how to walk. I guess I'm just not going to try anymore. I'm just never going to learn how to walk. Like, but as we get older and we get to be adults, we become embarrassed by our failures. We feel like, insecure about them. And it's just, the reality is, how are you going to know how to do something that you've never done? How the hell are you going to know how to do something that you've never done? It's like walking when you're a child or a baby. You've never done it. How are you going to know how to do it? You do it and you do it and you fail and you fall and you a million times until you get back up. And so my point is, like, you have to have a mindset of being someone who's willing to be committed to this business no matter what. Develop a thick skin. They call it like rhino skin. And those no's are not personal. It doesn't mean that you're not good at this. It doesn't mean you're not a good coach. And I would look at some of the conversations just to say, oh, they're just not ready. Like, it has nothing to do with me. They are just not ready, and that's how it is at this point in my time. If they say no, it's nothing about the way I'm talking. It's about they're not ready. I remember Kevin Jensen used to always tell me, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person, and you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. If the right person's going to be with you, they're going to be with you. If the wrong person's going to, is you're talking to you can never say enough to make it right. It's just not going to work. Okay. And that's true. And then as far as, so my point is, like, let go of the fear and just do it anyway. I mean, yes, you can have fear, but just do it anyway. And that was the difference between me succeeding and building a 6-figure income and not doing anything with this business, is because for the first 6 months, I really didn't do anything. I didn't make much money because I was scared. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know how to talk to people. Like, I went out and I asked a bunch of personal trainers if they wanted to be coaches on my team, and I just vomited information all over them. I didn't ask any questions. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to have conversations. And I was like, this doesn't work. No one's signing up. I thought I was going to be so successful at this, and now I'm not. It's not working for me. They just sold me on this thing. And then I went to an event. I went to a freaking Super Saturday and I heard Carl Deichler speak. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to commit time to this. And then I started doing and then I went to Summit, and then I started doing the Danny Johnson seminars, and then I started doing more personal development. And after some time, I was able, and I listened to National Wake Up Calls is another way I really learned how to do the business. So my point is, you have to have that mindset of being committed no matter what. And you have to be willing to be scared, do it anyway. And you have to be willing to fail a million times to succeed. So I think that that all relates to the challenge groups. So you might be feeling intimidated by like hosting one or whatever. You're like, oh, and then the first one you do, it flops because you don't know how to post, and the, you know, nobody's commenting, and you're posting to crickets and nobody's answering. Who cares? Who cares? Like, it's your first group. Like, you know, my groups were like that, and somehow I ended up still like recruiting coaches. I still brought coaches on my team, even in those groups where I would literally, like, my first groups, I'd be like, I just did my T25 workout. That was like my post for the day. No questions, no like whatever. Do you want to say something? Okay.
So that's really funny. I have my own challenge group, and I just felt like the first couple of weeks I was just, you know, posting to myself because I felt like no one was ever like posting themselves. And I finally just kind of did like a step-by-step kind of thing for them, because I was thinking, okay, I was confused with the apps at first until I got comfortable with them. And so I just kind of like it's okay, Elle. Just showed them like how to post, and now they're finally kind of like getting the hang of things. But I felt like I was like by myself, but I could see that they were just doing their workouts but not like showing like what workouts they were doing, or they would log a shake but they wouldn't like say what kind of shake they had or what they did that day. So it was just like that type of thing, but I can relate to that.
There's actually a video. That's a good point. There's a video that Beachbody did on how to use the My Challenge Tracker app. It's on YouTube, and it like shows that it's like a 3-minute video. I have that as the pin post in my challenge group. And when I invite them to the My Challenge Tracker app, I actually think I have it in an email that goes out to them. I think I have the link to that video too, so they can see it, so they know how to. And I have the instructions of how to download the app and everything in an email, because it's like people really, some people just don't get technology at all, and they're like totally lost. And like, if you can simplify it for them, the easier you can make it for them, the better, of course, you know, because if that could just be that could be the reason why they're not doing anything, because they don't know how to use the app, you know? So, and you can do little, like, you know, you can, on an iPhone, you can record, there's a way to record your screen on an iPhone. So you can literally like hit the record, you Google it. You can Google like just how to record your screen on an iPhone, and you open up the thing, you swipe the thing and you hit record, and then you swipe it down, and 3 seconds later it starts recording. So you could literally start recording, go into the app, you know, show people exactly how you do everything and post, stop recording, and it'll save it as a video in your phone. And you can like have that video saved, and you can just, you know, send that to somebody as a text message. So I'm constantly like using that feature of being able to record videos of your screen on your iPhone. So you could do things like that. But you can also split that work up between you and other people. So you're not feeling like you're doing like 20 million hours of work a day. So like the 3 of you guys, like Diana, Stephanie, and Christine, you guys could freaking do your challenge groups together, and you could, you know, have a start date. What program are you going to do? Who's going to lead what day? Like maybe you're going to have one person lead a week at a time, and you're going to rotate week by week, or maybe you're going to do a daily thing, or every other day they're going to hear from a different person. And I'm going to recommend that you try to throw some social things in there too, because what I've heard from these other top coaches that they're having a lot of success with their challenge groups is they're making it more like a holistic group. It's not just about health and fitness, but they're asking people like, what are you doing on the weekends? And they're sharing like things from their personal life in those groups. And that's helping people connect more on a deeper level. I haven't really been successful at doing it yet, but I do plan to do it. And how we're hosting ours now is like, we have a Facebook group that we're hosting with a bunch of coaches. And then we have our own individual like challenge tracker groups that are just our group. But you could, like I said, if you're a newer coach and you're only enrolling a couple people every month, or one person here and there, or whatever that is, I definitely recommend linking arms with several other coaches. She was saying 6, so that they have one person that leads a day every week. And then on Sundays, it's a free day. And the other thing that I liked about that call is she mentioned doing that in like her, I think it would apply to the team page too. I don't know if she mentioned that, but I thought that it was a good idea, like for the team page. So what I was thinking about doing is creating a Google Doc, and I could, and you know, I was going to kind of brainstorm with you guys, because we talked about it last week, and I said, you know, let's just, next week, that's what we're going to go over. So creating a Google Doc and having like a sign up for people to go live in the team page. And I was thinking maybe 2 days a week, like maybe on a Tuesday, Thursday, we can do like Tip Tuesday or whatever, and then have a coach go live and share something that they're doing that's working well for them, something that they learned. It could even be like something about Instagram stories, how you learned how to do something really cool with Instagram stories that's creating you, having conversations with new people. It doesn't have to specifically be like anything. It can be whatever, just happens to be like working for you that week. Because I think that it would be very helpful if in the team page we have other people sharing short videos, like 3 to 5 minutes, I would say max, like live videos, or you can even pre-record it if you want to, and then post it in the team page so that when people are actually coming to our team and joining our team, they're seeing like content in there versus me just posting every, national wake up call and posting every Zoom, or me posting like the updates or whatever, but they're actually hearing from other faces. They're seeing that this isn't just like Marissa Myers, this is Team Aloha. These are all the faces of the coaches on our team. And then they're having content that they can learn, they can go in there and they can search and they can learn from other people's styles, and and realize like, okay, this isn't just like Marissa's successful, but like all these people are succeeding, and that, I think that's going to help our culture a lot. It's going to help our team be closer. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today. And if anybody has suggestions or shares along those lines, I'm open to have a discussion about it.
I just want to share that every time that I've wanted to link arms with somebody else, for me, I find people that have my opposite interests. So like Nicole, who I run my challenge groups with, I mean, if I cloned myself, it's her, but nutrition-wise. Like, she loves nutrition. I don't like talking about nutrition. So I linked arms with her. Kathleen is very business driven, and I'm challenge group driven. So I linked arms with her. So I tend to find people that can fill the gaps of where I don't necessarily have strengths in that area, so that people get a well-rounded, experience. So I wanted to share that, just food for thought. And then I totally agree. I always say it to myself that you can't say the right thing to the wrong person or the wrong thing to the right person, or however you say that. I repeat that on the daily, you guys. Oh my gosh. Like, it's funny because when I shared about Kirby, somebody was like, wow, that must have been a great salesman, like that got you to buy that. Because I obviously wasn't thinking about it. I mean, they just showed up on my door one day. And I was like, no, actually she wasn't. She was new, and she kept tripping over her words. She actually had to call in twice to her whatever company because she didn't know the information. I appreciated that she wanted to give me the right information versus just make something up. But she kept tripping over her words. I could tell she was new and she made a lot of mistakes, but she was honest and she was informative and she was listening to me. And that's, so she wasn't perfect, you guys. And I've made many mistakes talking to people where I'm literally like, oh my God, they're so not going to buy because I can't seem to talk correctly today. And they still do. They still do. So I love that saying, and I repeat it on the daily.
I love that, because you wanted the vacuum. It didn't matter what she said. You wanted that vacuum. Like, that's exactly, like, if someone wants to get healthy, like, they are going to come after you. They're going to want to do, that's, and yes, I think, of course, the follow-up is important. Yes, we've all know that the fortune is in the follow-up, blah, blah, blah. But like, if someone's really serious, they will reach out to you when they're ready, and will follow up with you. So, I don't think you're ever going to lose, although I guess the follow-up is important, because you still want them to know that you're there. Because if it goes there's been people that it's gone years since I've talked to them. And so they don't even really remember that I was their coach at any point. And they've reached out to other coaches, and then they've been ready to sign up with the challenge pack, and they've signed up with other coaches. And then I've seen them in my online office that they bought a challenge pack, and I've reached out to them. I'm like, oh yeah, I bought it from another coach because, I wanted to do it again. And then it's too late, because I didn't. So I think that is something that, if you can find a way to stay in their radar, and that could be you have a newsletter that you send once a month, so that or you have them on a follow-up list through your, tracking system. If you use MCB or whatever, or MCT or whatever that thing is, and you have them set to follow up with them every other month or every 3 months or every whatever, it doesn't have to be that often. Or for me, I'm using Scipio, and we're doing like, we're creating content for the year, like 365 days. I mean, you're not getting content every day, but like, it's just random things. So we created content around like, we split it up between a couple of coaches for Scipio, and you can create campaigns. So for example, it's in a text message. So I could text people like Happy Mother's Day on Mother's Day, but I can have it scheduled so it goes out automatically to like 100 people at a time. And it's text messaging, not emails. It's the same thing as what you do in like an email campaign, but it's texting. What we did was we split up the work, and we're texting them a few times a month. And some of them are like Happy Mother's Day. Some of them are like, here's something I found on the Beachbody blog, like how to, 10 recipes in under 20 minutes or something, like something that's going to help people, like, that's like value driven, like it's going to give them some value without asking for anything in return. Because I think that that is where I've failed. Like, as far as like the follow-up, that's where I failed and where I've lost, if you want to say lost people, because I didn't have a way of like keeping track of all of that and, keeping on the radar. And now I think with Scipio, that's really going to help me keep on their radar. And when they are ready, they're going to enroll with me. So, but value driven, it's not just, hey, I have a challenge group starting this month, do you want to join? I'm not texting them every time. That's how Stephanie became a coach. No, we did a call, and she actually was going to join her cousin's team, and we did like a 3-way call because her cousin really didn't know how to, like, she's even a coach anymore. So we did a 3-way call, and I was doing like the prospecting for her and kind of showing her how to, and I was asking the questions and whatever, and Stephanie wasn't ready. But then I think I must have had her in a list. I had like a Google Doc list, something, and I would just go down and I would like message people, hey, how's it going? Like, how's your week? Or she would like ask me questions about things I posted on my page, and then I'd have a little short conversation with her. But I don't think I ever asked again, do you want to be a coach? Like, I don't know. Like,
you didn't. My cousin got me into this, but I was like, you're not that serious about fitness. So he linked me with you, and yeah, it took me 10 months to say yes. And just every couple months you'd be like, hey, how's it going? And you never asked me about stuff. And if I commented on your stuff on your page, you'd respond, which I think is huge, because I've gone to other coaches' pages in the beginning, and I would like comment and they would never respond. I'm like, what the hell? Why are you asking for my opinion? Yeah. And I always found that odd. So, but yeah, and I just came to you one day and I was like, I want to sign up.
Yep. And that is like prime, like I've gone through phases of my coaching career where I was the type of coach where I asked someone if they wanted to join my challenge group or become a coach. And then every time I followed up with them, it's like, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I've gone through phases where I've been like that, and they never ended up enrolling because they were like, dude, every time she reaches out to me, she just reaches out to me because she wants to make a sale. And I like lost that like reminder. I forgot that you have to have like value driven stuff too. You have to be like building that relation. Your reach outs can't just be like, okay, I have a new challenge group starting, you ready? It's like, it's got to be value driven, and it's got to be relationship building driven. It can just be like, hey, you have any fun plans this weekend? So yeah, that's exactly what you want to. Oh, and I was going to say, thank you for that point, is respond to every comment on your post. I respond to every single comment on my post. Like, even if it's someone who I know is never going to be a client of mine, because it's like a guy that lives like locally to me, comments on all my stuff, I just respond to his comments, because I feel that it's showing that I'm taking initiative to respond to everyone. And if I just didn't respond to him, it's like, why would I just not respond to just him and then I respond to everybody else? No, I'm going to respond to everyone, because that shows my integrity, and it shows that I am honestly grateful that people comment on my page. I'm grateful that they give me support, even if it's just like a thumbs up or a clap or a thank you or a heart. Some people, if they don't write, if I'm not going to write some long comment back, but I like respond to every single comment on my Instagram and my Facebook page. Unless
about that. So like I will say I've stopped like responding to people that are just like, hey, or like thumbs up. Like I like everything, but I don't always respond to those. So like if someone's just like, hey, or like, you're actually leaving comments or just liking it back?
If it's on Instagram and they leave me like a heart, then I'll just comment back with like a heart, or like a clap, or like one of those like palms, like prayers or something. I comment with like something, just an emoji. And if they just give me emojis, I give them emojis. So yeah. But you know, I don't think you have to. I just think on Instagram, I wasn't as accustomed to liking things, like liking the comments. I'm starting to be better with that. I wasn't always liking the comments, like hearting them. I did that always on Facebook. I liked everything, but on Instagram, I just didn't do that. Now it's becoming more of a habit to like. So, and just so you know, you guys, for as far as Instagram's algorithm, I am under the understanding, which you can never know for sure because nobody knows the algorithms. No matter if you like the comments and you like your own comments, that's an action on your page. That's like, so you actually will be bumped up in the Instagram algorithm as being more valuable, because so liking people's comments is not only, you know, integrity and being responsive and showing people that you care. It's also another action taken on your page that's making your page be bumped up in our algorithm as more valuable, from my understanding. That's what I understand. So I think that's it. So what do you guys feel about like me creating like some type of, you know, Google Doc sign up sheet, you know, where we go have people go live? I'm thinking twice a week is good, because I don't think we need to have people going live every day or anything. I think twice a week is like enough content that people are hearing from other coaches, and then we'll just start back from the top and just keep going through. And the other thing that I'm going to mention too is that it's going to help you gain confidence in your ability to lead again, to do live videos and to lead in the team. That's going to help you become a more equipped coach when you actually do have people join your team. So it's not, none of it is for nothing. None of it is ever just like you're helping me or you're helping other people. It's all you learn as you advance your skills. It's like Marissa jumping in the pool and swimming is, she learned to swim by swimming, and now she's more confident because she learned by, like, she just did her thing and she did it. It's the same thing with coaching. Like if you're like, oh my God, I don't have any coaches. Like I don't need to do any content or videos or step into this leadership role because I don't have any coaches. Well, how are you ever going to get them if you don't know how to do it when they come? Imagine if when they come, you're already equipped to do that. Like that's your steps ahead of everyone. So it's not just for me, it's not just for the people, it's also for you to gain confidence, gain that skill, be able to be more comfortable on video. None of it is wasted. Like everything is for growth and learning and becoming better.
One last thing, I was thinking about the challenge groups. Something I did in the beginning, like when I just jumped into the My Challenge Tracker, I mean, they have layouts for every program. They have like pre-week all through the end of it. And what I did is, because sometimes I thought they were kind of salesy, but there were times where I would just take what they said and I would rephrase it to be my voice, but I was using the challenge group guides. And they're awesome, you guys. So as a newer coach, take advantage of the tools that are given to you. They literally are spoon feeding you how to run a challenge group, and you can just simply make it your own by putting your own voice into it.
And those challenge group guys, the more recent ones are really good. And I just copy and paste them. And I do read them over, because sometimes it sounds like, I think people know it's not me talking. Like, but sometimes the way they say it, I'm like, that definitely doesn't sound like me. I think people know. And I tell people, I'm like, just so you know, this is from like a guide. Like I got a guide and I read it over and I might make a couple edits. Like if they're like, I love like the chocolate Shakeology with this whatever recipe. And I'm like, I don't even fucking know what that recipe is. So I delete that part and like take it out, you know? And like, so like things like that are like personal that they put in there. I like remove those things or edit them or whatever. And those guys are really good. So you guys, you know, and that's something that, you know, you could have the guides, like someone that loads those guides, and you can schedule the post. Just so you know, if you didn't know, you can schedule posts in the Challenge Tracker app, you can. And then when it's in your post library, if you start a new group and you've already scheduled it in another group, it's going to be in your post library, and you can access it from the new group and you can just schedule it. You don't have to go through and edit the content again. It'll save that edits for you in your other group. And you can, I hope you understand what I'm saying. I think you do. And you could have somebody set those scheduled, and then you could have, you know, in your challenge groups, you could have coaches go live, you know, twice a week, just like we're talking about in the team page. Like you go live, and then another coach goes live, and then the next week you do another coach and another coach. And so they're hearing from, and just different takes on nutrition and fitness and, you know, other personal development and other things that are going, you know, so in being social. And so Yeah. So everyone, would you guys sign up for to do a video and to start, and you would, okay.
I have a quick question. With the live videos, what would we post about? I know you said like what works for us, but like since I'm newer, I'm kind of like still learning a lot and trying to build myself. So would I just kind of go with what is on my mind that day, or like I just
okay. Exactly. I'm like, say you've like been doing Instagram stories. You're a new coach and you've been doing Instagram stories for a while, and you discover like, oh my God, I didn't realize I could do that. You freaking do a video on it. Like you know, that's going to be, somebody else is going to learn from you sharing that. Or like, hang on, I'm going to mute you. Or like, or you see there's some training in the Coach Online office that you didn't know was there and you find it. Or like you had a conversation with someone and like they enrolled and this is what you said. And like, just whatever, it's whatever is like working for you in that moment. It doesn't have to be some like big, it's just like, think like, what worked for me today? Or if you had a post do really well, like, you know, how did that work out? Or it can be something so simple. Cause like, we forget, like as a seasoned coach, like I even forget, like Jonna was like, she was like, I wish you would have like taught me how to do like the technical stuff a little bit more in the beginning. Cause I asked her for feedback. Like, what did I do well when I was training you? What did you feel like I was missing out on? She's like, I really wish there was like, we had something in like our, on our team page of how to use Instagram stories. Cause it took her a while to even figure out how to use stories. Like she didn't know how to do it. So it's like doing a video, like you could do a screenshot. I mean, you could, so how you record on here, let me show you guys real quick. There's this little button and I think you have to add it. You can Google it and you click this. So this is, you know, how you go like this, right? Oh, hold on. You know how you can bring that up. You know how to bring that screen up, right, guys? All right, so this is a record button. If I hit that, hold on, it just did 3, 2, 1. You see how it's red now? If I scroll down, you see that red at the top? It's recording my screen. So I could literally go in and be like, here's how you do an Instagram story. You know, home, show them the camera, you know, do my little whatever, and literally you can record your screen and that could be your video for the day. Like it doesn't have to even be you talking. Like it could be like simple things that you think, and just so you know, then you tap, when you're done, you tap that red and you hit stop and it saves the video for you in your camera. So I discovered that from another coach and I was like, that's fucking genius. Like you can record your screen. I never knew that. You do have to somehow get that button though. I think you have to somehow like get that button. So that's what you're going to have to Google, is how you get that button there. Because I don't think that button just shows up. You have to like turn it on. All right. So things like that, just whatever is working for you, whatever you feel is nothing. My point is like nothing is not valuable that you can share, you know, because especially for newer coaches that are joining and they have no clue what they're doing, you're actually probably going to be better at, you know, knowing what to show them than I would, because I'm like, I think that like, I forget that about all the things that I didn't know when I started. Like, I'm so like far from that, you know, they're going to probably actually be more connecting with the things that a newer coach that hasn't had a lot of success or hasn't been a coach very long, you're going to know even more what they need than I'm going to know.
No, I was going to say too, if anyone really wants to get together with the challenge, like on the challenge tracker, or if they run a Facebook group, like I'm open, because Stephanie, I know I told you that I had a success partner from another group and I don't hear from her anymore. Like she hadn't told me anything. Like I guess she's just with her own group doing her own thing, and that's fine. Like I'm not upset about it, but like I would like another success partner, because she dropped off the face of the earth, and I'm kind of like, oh my God, like I have no one to talk to. I mean, like I have y'all to talk to, but you know what I mean? Like it's just like, and then like I really have 2 challengers, but they're both my friends. One is kind of like a ghost. She doesn't ever post, but she does do her stuff. Like I'll get a text message every 3 months. Oh, Stephanie, I lost 33 pounds, which is amazing, but she does it all on her own. So she never ever posts, which is great. I'm glad she's still doing it. And then my other friend just had surgery Monday, which is my other group. And now I have no one. No one's working out. No one's posting anything in my challenge group. And now I feel like I'm like, shit, I have no one to post to.
I went through seven success partners. So if somebody is not pushing you to be better and they're not running with you, bye, go find somebody else. 7 people it took me to find Kathleen. So it's kind of like your spouses, your boyfriends, you know, your best friend, you know, it's like find people you connect with. And if you're not connecting, bye and keep going. Like I wouldn't feel bad.
Yes, agreed. And also remember that it's your initiative that's going to help you find that person. Like Stephanie was like on the hunt for a partner. She wasn't just like, oh, like guys, I'm open if you want to come be my partner. She was like, I'm going to find a partner. Like it's initiative, it's drive, it's like motivation. You have to be the one to take that initiative and do it. You can't just like, oh, it's just going to come to me. Like you have to work for it.
Yeah. Marissa even tried to play matchmaker. I mean, I tried all sorts of angles, finding people myself, asking Marissa to set me up on dates. Like I did all the things.
I think I set you up with a couple and they weren't good fits. I think like 1 or 2.
Yeah, there was a couple. It's like they were good for like a couple weeks, but it never really panned out. But still, I mean, you know, we were trying.
Yeah. So initiative. It's like taking the like it's you'll find it if you want it bad enough. You'll get it. You'll have challengers in your group if you want that bad enough. Just like you'll have coaches on your team if you want that bad enough. Like maybe my business isn't growing as fast as I'd like, but it is like it is growing, you know, like I am recruiting people. I'm bringing people on board. And, you know, I started my Instagram page over and I'm like, if you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen. Like it will happen. You'll work hard for it. And it might not happen in the time frame that you want it. Like it might take longer than you wanted, but it will. So, all right. On that note, thanks Steph for sharing and everybody for chiming in. And I will, you know, create a Google Doc with a sign up sheet and we'll get started. Probably not this coming week because I think it's not, I don't like to like, I don't like to just start things like, okay, we're going to do it. And then we start because I feel like it kind of gets off to like the wrong foot. So we'll probably start the first week of June doing the videos and have people signing up and hopefully more people will sign up too. And if you ever wanted to have people to be connected with outside of our team, let me know that too, because I can always post in the roundtable and for you on your behalf and see if I can find you either a success partner or someone to run your challenge groups with, because I'm exposed to, you know, hundreds of coaches in the 5-star wall. It's 5 stars and above. And then I'm exposed to like all of their downlines. I mean, I don't know their downlines, but I'm connected with them. So I could ask, you know, for things. So, all right. Thanks guys. Have a good day. See ya.